A lesson in crisis management. Life isn't always smooth sailing. There will be times when storms hit, financial crisis, a sudden health issue, or career pressure. When everything around us is in chaos, what's our natural reaction? Fear. Today, we'll look at a classic story of panic versus absolute calm. Jesus calming the storm. This is a lesson on how to find inner peace right in the eye of the storm. Jesus and his disciples were crossing the Sea of Galilee when a fierce squall swept down. The disciples, who were seasoned fishermen, were terrified. They knew the sea. They knew this was an unavoidable disaster. While they were shouting and fighting the storm, Jesus was sleeping in the stern, in absolute peace. The disciples woke him up with a fearful rebuke. "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" This question reflects our universal psychology. When we panic, we feel abandoned and believe everything is about to collapse. Jesus' reaction was simple. He woke up and rebuked the storm. "Quiet. Be still." And the storm immediately subsided. But then, he turned to his disciples and asked, "Why are you so afraid? Where is your faith?" The core lesson. The inner storm. The core lesson here is, the external storm can only be quelled when we calm the storm within. Jesus' calmness was not indifference, it was the result of absolute trust. He knew that no situation was outside of his control. In crisis management, the most dangerous element is not the problem itself, but our reaction to it. The disciples' panic worsened the situation. Only when they turned back to the source of strength, Jesus, could they see the solution. Calmness is not the absence of trouble, but the ability to maintain stability right in the middle of it. In your life, the storm might be a debt collection notice, a sudden medical result, or a business failure. When the storm hits, remember this lesson. Don't let fear captain your ship. Instead of focusing on the giant waves, seek the anchor within you. That anchor is faith in a solid foundation. Take a deep breath, detach yourself from collective panic, and ask, what am I truly afraid of? What is the truth I can cling to? Like Jesus, we need to seek that inner peace so we can assess the problem objectively and find solutions, instead of merely reacting emotionally. The power of rebirth. How to overcome your greatest failures. There are moments in life when everything seems to be over. A broken relationship, a shattered dream, or a complete career collapse. That is the feeling of irreversible loss. Today's story is about a man who was dead, buried, and devoid of all hope. Lazarus. This miracle is more than just a supernatural event. It's a powerful symbol of our capacity for rebirth after our most profound failures. Analyzing grief and despair. Lazarus was a dear friend of Jesus, but by the time Jesus arrived, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. 4 days was more than enough time to confirm that the matter was settled. Lazarus's 2 sisters, Martha and Mary, both spoke a painful sentence to Jesus. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." This remark expressed deep disappointment, intense grief, and the belief that the opportunity is gone. The reaction of those around was logical. All hope was lost. When Jesus even asked for the stone to the tomb to be opened, people tried to stop him because, by this time, there is a bad odor. A stark reminder that the reality of the failure was undeniable and had rotted over time. This is the feeling of absolute despair, the power of rebirth. And then, the miracle happened. Lazarus, who had been wrapped in grave clothes and dead for 4 days, came out of the tomb. This wasn't just healing an illness, this was a complete reversal of reality. This was a resurrection from a situation deemed utterly irrecoverable. It proves that no situation is too dire, no failure is too great to be overcome. For us, the resurrection of Lazarus is a symbol of rebirth. When we feel dead in our careers, relationships, or spirit, this story offers a message. Utter failure is not the end, but an opportunity for the greatest beginning. All that is required is a calling, a motivation, a belief, and action, stepping out, and new life can begin. What is your death in life? It could be a bankrupt company, a devastating financial loss, or a broken love. We often tend to bury those failures in our minds and seal the door shut. But the lesson from Lazarus is, never accept the finality of failure. Dare to open your tomb. Let faith and hope speak out, and heed the call, come forth. Whether you are wrapped in the grave clothes of shame or regret, cast them off and walk. The capacity for rebirth and starting over is always within your reach, even when everyone around you says it's too late. What tomb in your life is it time for you to come forth from? What hope have you found in your greatest failure? Share your inspiring story in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next meaningful lessons. See you again soon.